Hello Leo, welcome to your January 2026 reading. I hope this reading finds you well. This is the Guidance Corner. My name's Christelle. Thank you so much for being here. So before we get into your reading, I've been called in these January readings to, when I shuffle these Let Go cards, to just look at the top card when I put them back down on the table, because there's additional messages in the reading for you. I will pull cards at the end and read the messages. This one here, I don't read the message, I just look at the card. And I feel like she's swimming in the shallows. She's below the water, but it's not deep. And I'm feeling, Leo, there's a sense of relief in you that you've been to the bottom of your well and you're coming up now. So there's still work to do. You're still swimming below the surface, but there's a sense that, you know, you're looking at the world now from not so much those inner depth, that inner aspects of ourselves that need to be changed or looked at in order for us to heal them and let them go. I feel that you're rising to the top again, and so there's less and less work to do. It's quite an interesting message, Leo. So it'll be interesting to see what the cards say. Thank you, Spirit, for being here. What messages do you have for Leo for January 2026? Oh, I feel so happy for you, Leo, because a lot of signs are still getting this deep dive action happening, and I feel like you're coming up, your energy's rising. Am I taking all of these, Spirit? Yep. Okay. I feel like they just fell out, so I almost didn't want to take them, but Spirit said no. Yes. Were we doing this one's last? Okay, thank you, Spirit. I'm going to go to the top. We'll just get that out of the way, because with the amount of oracles, I'm probably going to need all the space I can get. Excuse me. Just going to have a quick drink. It's interesting, Leo. My throat was fine, and now I can feel it closing up, which is quite interesting. So I'm wondering if there's a truth that needs to be spoken. Spirit, which way? Thank you. Isn't that interesting? I feel like the Oracle want to talk to you more than the Tarot. Look at the colours. Oops, sorry. Excuse me. Sorry, Leo. And we'll put these here because I feel this is quite significant. Okay, so let's go through your cards. You've got Judgment, the Knight of Wands. You have the Emperor, the Ace of Cups, the Ace of Pentacles, the Devil, the Four of Wands, and the Wheel of Fortune. Do you know, Leo, I just got this vibe that Cancer almost... I think I actually am going to tell the Cancerians to actually watch this, because this is where they're going. There's a sense here that if you're not feeling the energies of this reading, go and listen to Cancers, because it's almost like you're just that little bit further ahead in your journey than they are. But this is where they are leading to, and this is where the majority of you find yourself now. If this doesn't quite resonate, go and listen to the Cancers, because obviously being a general reading, you're all on different timelines, aren't you? So things are happening quicker for some and slower for others. So do go and listen to that one. then I'm really sorry about my throat. Then with the oracles, we've got 22, learn from past mistakes, grow into greater wholeness. We've got 15, ground yourself, be in your body. We've got 12, listen to inner guidance, wisdom dwells within. We've got 42, align with your ideal rhythms, be one with your inner self. So this is be in your body, grow into greater wholeness, inner guidance. There's a lot about that inner work, which is quite interesting. We have 45, uncover your softer self, beauty lies beneath. We have 43, deepen your concentration, focus and grow into what could be. And we have 24, act with courage, let your legs guide you. There's a sense here of moving forward, and there's like, you're not in the deep depths of your soul. You've been there. You've looked at your shadow. You've done the shedding. You're moving forward. But you're still below the surface, which actually is quite beautiful, especially with these oracles, because there's a sense here that you're still uncovering aspects of yourself. You're still looking at, how am I going? How am I changing? Am I reverting back to my old ways? You've got the devil here. And there's a sense that as you move forward in life, you're still operating from a depth within you. That's not your deep dive, but this is what lies below the surface. So you're still querying with yourself, how am I coming at every situation? How am I meeting every interaction that I have? This is quite interesting, actually. So Spirit said we're going to start with the oracle because they're talking loudly, okay? And we have, oh, thank you, Spirit. Spirit just said we're going to tie everything in because it's the message is a beautiful message and it's all mixed into the different cards. So we have 22, learn from past mistakes, grow into greater wholeness. And I think that's got a lot to do with this devil card. We've all made mistakes. We've all made choices. We've all walked down paths that we knew were not meant for us, but we did it anyway. And there's a sense that through understanding these mistakes, those spirits saying, Leo, they're not really mistakes because they enable us to see things, they enable us to grow. So they're actually blessings. But when we look back, we're like, oh, I wish I hadn't have done that. I wish I had have done that. Or I wish I could have seen that sooner, or whatever it is for you, Leo. But there's this sense, and I'm seeing the 22 and I'm seeing this 4 of Wands, and there's a sense that in understanding the things we deem as mistakes, they will show you who you are becoming as a whole. They will show you how you're changing. That's why I love the fact that she's underwater and not kind of walking through life, because this shows me there's a fluidity. You know, sometimes she might swim against the tide. Sometimes she might allow it to just take her. She's not so deep in the water where she wants to be that mindful about her breath, because, you know, she can pop up at any moment's notice and take a deep breath and then head off again. So it feels relatively, well, thank you, Spirit. I was going to say it feels easy, and then I thought, well, it's not always easy. So I thought I'll say it feels relatively easy, but Spirit's like going, no, it is easy. You have gotten to a point, Leo, where it is easy, where very quickly you will see, oh, do you know what? I'm moving through life. I'm on my journey, and this has popped back up. Or I'm still carrying the energy from that past mistake. There's a residue, and a lot of us are dealing with residue at the moment. So there's those last little remnants that need to be flushed out, because the new is calling, and in a big way. And these two cards are linked. So in order to get to your next journey, in order to walk through this portal into your new world, your new self, there needs to be, growth in the wholeness of who you have become as a whole, not just aspects that you like better than others. And your past choices are going to help you with that. They will guide you into what, thank you, Spirit, into how you made these choices, why you made those choices. Were they based in fear? Were they based in limiting beliefs? Were they based in wanting to impress, or wanting to be part of something that really wasn't for us? And so this learning from your past mistakes, really seeing them, and you will just very naturally, like, I'm not really feeling that I need to, with some of the other signs, you're my 8th reading. So with some of the other signs, they've been getting, sit in journals, sit with it. Where were you? What were you, seeing at this point in time? Or what were you doing? Or no, with you, it's just as you move through this new stage, you're just going to come into that understanding. You're going to see things as you go through. And there's a sense here that what's going to help you is to really ground yourself. Now, I've been getting messages from Spirit to say 2026 is going to be a real year where the more grounded we can be into Mother Earth, into Gaia, the actually easier it is for us to navigate the energies, because we are going to feel so supported. Okay? Everybody's working a one universal year. There's going to be this trial and error kind of energy. People are going to be, people are in this newness. We all are. So there's a sense of, okay, I don't know how does this work? It's like, can you imagine working in a business and suddenly the rule book has been thrown out, and the boss has now said, right, we're going to operate from new rules. And it's like, oh, okay, well, we've kind of got to learn them. And then we know the old rules so much that sometimes we'll automatically do it, and it'd be like, no, that's not how we function anymore. That's not what we say. That's not our motto. That's not the uniform anymore. So there's a lot of change, and it just takes a little while for us to navigate it. And that's what 2026 is going to be. It's going to be a year of navigating the new. And we are new. The world is going to be new. The world is, we're not completely all done and dusted. We're on a journey, so we're forever evolving. But the more grounded you can be, and I will be offering, I don't know how I'm going to do them yet, but Spirit's been showing me how to connect to the earth so that we don't rely on other people to support us. We are supported by the earth, okay? Because Mother Earth, Gaia, is like Spirit or God or our higher self. It is more knowing than we are, and even though she's evolving like we are, she does it more naturally, she does it more organically, but she knows what we're going through. So she can be that stable rock that we need underneath our feet as we trial and error things. So it's going to be really important. So please, if that's something that interests you, please subscribe. Please stay tuned, because I will be doing a lot of videos on grounding and techniques and that are new to me, but that so far I've found really, really helpful. And then we've got 12, listen to inner guidance, wisdom dwells within. And there's a sense here, I'm being drawn to the 3 here. I wasn't really drawn to the 15 here, but I'm really being drawn to the 3 here. And there's a sense of joy in this card. There's a sense of when we listen to our inner guidance, which is our higher guidance, which is spirit and God, the universe. There is a sense that we tap into this wisdom that is really joy-filled, because it's not a wisdom that is based on our past experiences. So there's no fear in it. And it is, I don't know what word I'm trying to find, Spirit. It is awe-inspiring. It is all-encompassing, and it gives us wings, and it makes us feel connected. And this is connection, grounded connection, but then spiritual connection, and this together is beautiful. You know, this is that alignment. You know, this is downloading ideas and then being grounded enough to be able to bring them to this physical world. We can get all the downloads we want. And downloads being, you know, inspiration, ideas, messages from spirit. But if we're not grounded, it becomes really difficult to actually make them real. They just stay in the ether. They don't materialize because we're not grounded enough to make them real, to make them happen. And this is going to help you to align to you and your ideal rhythms. This is how you function, how you work. Some of us like to talk a lot. Some of us like to listen. Some of us like to observe more than participate. Others like to participate and observe less. Some of us are loud. Some of us are quiet. Some of us are bright. Some of us are pastel. Some of us are you know, earthy. Others of us are, you know, a bit more flighty. And they make up all aspects of ourself, and all of them are valid. There are none that are more worthy than others, and all of them have their positive and negative aspects. And this is you aligning to be one with your inner self, your inner guidance, the wisdom that dwells within. This card is showing me that you're grounded and connected to spirit at the same time. Leo, don't know what you guys are doing, but keep doing it, because you're reading, I don't remember exactly your December reading, but it was really good as well by memory, or it had beautiful energy attached to it. Your January reading is no different. That you're still, I was going to say searching, and Spirit said yes, but it's not searching like we do in the world where you're looking for, you're searching for something. It's more like you're allowing life to flow, and you're just paying attention. You're mindful. Thank you, Spirit. You're mindful. You're really mindful as you travel your path as to what others could be feeling. What are you feeling? How do you feel when you're with others? How do you feel when you're alone? How do you feel when you're connected and grounded into Mother Earth? How do you feel when you're connected and getting downloads from Spirit? How do you feel in your alignment? How do you feel when you feel that your alignment has slipped? And this card makes me feel like you're taking it all in your stride. It's not heavy going, Leo. It's not heavy going. Yet there are challenging aspects. You know, but I feel that you have this judgment, this Emperor, this honesty in your observations that move you through things quite easily, because you're not being stubborn about anything. You're not pushing things away, or you're not trying to attach to things. There's a very natural flow here. And you're seeing more and more, like you know, you're learning from your mistakes. You're being called to raise up higher with this Judgment card. It's like you can't stay where you are. We need you to move. We need you to grow and learn from your mistakes. We need you to see what might be still holding you back. And Leo, I get the feeling that you're going, yep, bring it. There's this belief in yourself. Thank you, Spirit. There's this belief in yourself that will not allow you to be dishonest, will not allow you to skim past things that you know would benefit you if you looked into them and let them teach you something. And this can be experiences, it can be things from your past, it can be people that are in your present moment. You're happy to learn, you're willing to learn, and I think it's because you've got these two aces here, smack bang in the middle of your reading, right above this, listen to your inner guidance, align with the rhythms, your ideal rhythms. On either side of the Emperor and the Devil. The Emperor sits in his power because he knows his flaws. He knows he's not perfect. He knows he doesn't have it all. An Emperor has a council. He will make the final decision because he knows he has the wisdom to do so, but he has advisors. He will talk it out, get different points of views. He's not a yes man. He's not an emperor that wants everybody to be yes people around him. He will call on people that have conflicting opinions so that he can actually get different perspectives. And when you're like that, the devil energy is just a reminder that, yeah, we've all got a shadow side. We all have habits that we're trying to break because they're not good for us. I see them. And once we sit with them, truly, truly sit with them and go, you know what? I don't want to be that anymore. I don't want to do that anymore. I don't want to attract that anymore. I don't want this energy in my alignment. I don't want this energy in this new me that I am discovering and building and, you know, allowing to flourish. I'm going to look at it and I'm really going to take steps towards it. And you're really going to learn. So there's a sense here that you're learning to, you know, change patterns. no, we'll leave it at that. So, sorry, I was going to pick up both cards and Spirit said, no, we'll leave the last two together. So then we've got uncover your softer self, beauty lies beneath. And I think this is where you're operating from. You're just below the surface here. And it's beautiful. And you're discovering the beauty within you, even though, you know, there are aspects of you that you are currently working on. That's fine. You're working on them. You'll get there. And I'm being drawn to the 9. 2025 was a 9 year. And I think, Leo, you were learning to embrace this softer side. The Emperor he is ready for anything. He's got his armor underneath his cloak. But he doesn't have his, you know, it's there showing that he's ready. But he doesn't need to wear it 24/7 because he's not always going into battle. He's not always defensive. He's not just waiting for problems or obstacles or difficulty. He's ready if they come, but he's not expecting them and he's not going out looking for them. And there's a sense that, you know, once we start to discover ourselves, sometimes we can put up walls and we can try to protect ourselves because we try to protect this energy, this new self that is trying to emerge. And then we have people around us that say things like, oh, well, you used to love this, or I'm just not recognizing you. You're changing so much. Like, who are you? And that's viable observations. That's fair enough that people notice that. But sometimes we can go into defending or defensive mode. And there's a sense that I feel, Leo, you're coming out of that, or you've come out of that. And there's this softer side that isn't afraid to emerge. There's this softer side that doesn't need to be scary in order to keep people away. You know, if I was talking to Cancer, I'd say, you know, you can let go of your hard shell. With you, Leo, it's not the same, but it's kind of that energy. You know, there's this sense of you don't feel so much that you have to protect yourself because you're so sure of who you are, or you're coming into that certainty of who you are. So people can't, what's the word I'm trying to find? They can't sort of make you lose your footing a little bit or make you feel uncertain about yourself because there is so much certainty there. And we have deepen your concentration, focus and grow into what could be. And we have act with courage, let your legs guide you. And this is movement. There will come a point where you leave the water and you walk. Okay, so you're in this deepen your concentration, focus and grow into what could be. This is you flowing. This is you allowing the universe to show you what's what. There's a sense of peace and beauty in here. There is a softness. But you will come out of that. And maybe around the 24th of January, something is going to happen. And there will be courage that will be required because you're going to, you know, let your legs guide you. It's quite an interesting sentence, isn't it? But it's almost like you're going to be stepping out. And I see a lot of light here. So maybe you might be showing up differently within your family or within your community. You might be showing up on a platform like YouTube. You know, you're going to be a bit more seen, and there's a sense of you have to step out. You've got to kind of use your legs and move into something. And it's going to be so rewarding. Now I'm looking at this 24 and then the 42. You know, it's kind of like, you know, backwards. You know, the numbers are, and I just find that these two cards are just really beautiful together, because when you act with courage and you step out and allow your light to shine, I mean, look at all these cards. This is the only one that has that light. And there's a sense here with align with your ideal rhythms, be one with your inner self. It's this act aligns you more and more, brings you alignment. Because, you know, sometimes, I thank you, Spirit, not sometimes, the way that it works is we align first of all within us. Okay, we align to our inner self. We align, you know, heart, mind, body, soul. And then with that alignment, we then align with our outer world. And that's what this is talking about. And then when you align with your outer world, something in you grows and evolves. And then here you go again. You realign with something new within you. So then you can step out and move to the next stage, move forward and keep going. That's evolution. That's the world. So, you know, this stepping out could very well be you starting a new job. And then you align, you know, that's aligned with you. And then as you do that, you grow and evolve, and your alignment, you know, within you changes, grows. And then it could be, you know, another act of courage is required, where you might apply for a promotion, or you might leave that job to get a job where there is a promotion involved, or something like that. It can even be within relationships. You know, we have to step out of our comfort zone in order to find somebody to share our life with. You know, if we don't, like, if we're not open to that, it's not going to happen. And then as we open ourselves up, well, the relationship grows, and we might move in together, or we might get married, or, you know, it progresses, or it doesn't. And then we learn something. And then the next one is maybe more aligned. So there's a lot of evolution and growth in your reading. I'm really interested to see, when we shuffle these at the end of your reading, Leo, what cards are going to come out, because there is continual transformation here, and it doesn't surprise me. It doesn't surprise me. You've got Judgment, you've got the Knight of Wands, and you've got the Emperor. And I'm getting the feeling that this call to ground, to align with, like, to connect to spirit, to become more aligned within yourself. This is your guardian angel calling you. Rise up. You're not small. You're not limited. You know, we have been given legs. You know, we ground into Mother Earth like a tree. And I know my work is going to have a lot of symbolism of becoming the tree. But at the end of the grounding, we reconnect with our feet, because we're humans, we're not a tree. We can literally pick ourselves up, and you've got here, let your legs guide you. We can pick ourselves up and we can move. And I think that's something for 2026, that we know we can move. We've always moved. We move through life. You know, we're not where we were when we were born. And even if we are, like, physically still in the same, living in the same home or the same town, whatever, we're not at all the same. We've taken so many steps in our life. So we know we can move. But symbolically, sometimes we can feel really stuck. And I think that's why I love this card so much, because there's movement. There's this sense that you're allowing life to take you, or you're allowing life to lead you. And I feel that that's because of this guardian angel in the Judgment card calling you forward, and you are heeding that call. And it's very passion driven with this Knight of Wands, because I feel like you know there's a wisdom there. So you're heeding that call with, you know, all your bells and whistles on. You're like, yep, show me. I wonder if a lot of you, Leo, have already got ideas of your purpose, your calling. I know we talk a lot about that. I feel like we have more than one. You know, we're called to do lots of different things. We're called, you know, to have different jobs, to meet different people, to be parents, to not be parents, to be teachers, to be students, to be, you know, so many things. I don't feel that we have just one calling, though I do feel that our life progression does lead to some understanding, does lead to some wisdom that then we can offer to others. And I feel that you can sense this Emperor within you. Thank you, Spirit. Yes, got to add within you. This is not exterior of you, this is within you. And you know that the gifts from the universe, what is guiding you, yes, is going to show you your shadows. And I feel like you're fine with that, Leo. I feel like you know you've got to extract the wisdom in your past experiences in order to grow and evolve, but you know that. And you've got the Ace of Cups and the Ace of Pentacles. And this is a gift from the universe leading to fulfillment. And this is a gift from the universe in a very tangible way. Both ones. Your 2026 is going to be amazing. I'm so interested to see what you've got planned or what you're going to do. And you might not have it all figured out. And some of you might not even know what this is about yet. And if that's the case, listen to the Cancer reading, because that will have a bit of information in there for you. And then this is where you're headed. This is where you're being led. And you see the potential in these. The aces, these gifts from the universe, unless we take them and ground them in reality, they just stay as possibilities in the ether. Okay? So we need grounding for you, Leo, is going to be phenomenal. If that is the only practice you do in January, even throughout all of 2026, it will serve you very, very well, whatever grounds you. And do it as often as you can, like daily if you can. Find these little rituals that work for you. And they don't have to be hours long. Do something every day for 5 minutes, you know, but just find something that grounds you. It'll increase your connection to spirit as well, because I'm wondering if some of you are actually finding that with this kind of energy. Especially with the Wheel of Fortune here. And judgment as well, not forgetting judgment. You know, spirit calling you up, your guardian angel calling you like, hello. So some of you might start downloading, you might actually start channeling. I mean, I call when I chat with spirit, I call it channeling, but the messages they bring me, I call them downloads. Because they just download into my head in either images or, you know, I have words that come into my mind. They might make me think of a song, or they might make me feel flustered, you know, or feel emotions as well. So, you know, they talk to us. They want to connect because they want to help. And with this energy, it wouldn't surprise me if some of you, you know, really start channeling. We're touched on the devil, so I'm not going to go back over that energy. You know what that's all about, Leo. And I feel like you've got it in hand because you know why. You want the wisdom. And then we've got this Four of Wands, and we've got the Wheel of Fortune, and I love this because the Four of Wands can mean different things, you know, people and groups that you're joining and things like that. For me, in January, I'm really seeing it as the portal and the wheels turning. So there's this new portal opening up. It's almost like the minor arcana. At the moment, I'm seeing it like the minor arcana for the World card. And you can't quite see what's on the other side, but I'm feeling, because we can see these people, I feel like you get a sense of what's waiting for you on the other side. And, you know, you've got the Knight of Wands here. He's the second fastest knight. He's passionate. He's driven. You know, he wants to get to where he's going. Yet at the same time, you've got this beautiful energy here, which is like, I know I'm being guided with judgment. So as much as I want to get to here, I know that there's a process. I know that there's still things I need to do. So I'm going to allow it. I'm going to allow the wheel to turn at its own pace, and get to where I need to go with all the information and wisdom that I need. There's a lot of this Four of Wands in your reading, Leo. I'm seeing a lot of joy, a lot of connection, a lot of things falling into place. You're just going to be like, oh my gosh, this is better than I ever imagined. And the Wheel of Fortune is kind of saying, hey, Leo, for me, it's kind of saying, hey, the wheel's turning in your favor. The wheel's turning, you know, the past is going to be the past. But it's also a reminder, if ever you are feeling this fiery energy, I mean, you've got the fire next to the Emperor fire as well. The Emperor is the Aries card. And there's a sense here of, you know, you've got this fiery energy that sometimes goes, hey, come on, let's just go. But the Wheel of Fortune is here also, Leo, to remind you in good time, in divine timing. And in the timing that is right for you. Divine timing is not spirit, the universe, making us wait. It's waiting for us to be ready. And so remember that, okay? Divine timing is not us that is waiting. It's spirit, the universe, God, your higher self that is waiting for you to be the one that can walk the path, that can take the opportunity. Okay? So thank you, Spirit. Spirit just said, you know, please just bear in mind, you've got your Ace of Cups, Ace of Pentacles right here, but the Wheel of Fortune doesn't turn here. So this could be a lot of anticipation, especially following this fiery energy. So you might be thinking, oh, yeah, I'm starting to get messages. I'm starting to see how my life could be. And yet it's like, oh, I'm not kind of there yet. No, because there's still wisdom to be extracted from your past, but also from who you are still, and who you are becoming. You know, understand who you are becoming. You know, and it can be awkward, you know. Spirit just showed me a teenager. You know, teenagers, they're not children, they're not adults, they're in this in-between stage where they're discovering who they are, they're discovering their voice, and they're discovering what they want and to stand up for themselves. So for parents, that can be really jarring, can't it? You know, it's like, whew, teenagers. But they are a little bit trial and error. They are a little bit like, well, I'm this today, and then tomorrow they're going to be like, nah, I'm not that at all. I'm going to be this. And so they're a little bit all over the place. And when we're a little bit all over the place like that, sometimes it can be hard to navigate. So we've just got to be kind with each other, because everybody's working that 1 year next year. Okay, so let's have a look at the images. Oh, peaceful. Yeah, take time to sit. And I think you will be given this time between, you know, the lady that was swimming under the water and this let your legs guide you. You're going to have time to acclimatize. And that's why this Wheel of Fortune is here. It's Spirit saying, you know what? We'll wait. These opportunities will wait for you. You know, you're not waiting. You're doing your thing. You're doing your work. The universe is waiting for you to be ready. And look at this. You know, for some of you, I mentioned earlier, this could be about relationships. You know, you could find yourself getting married in 2026. Definitely find yourself in a more beautiful place, and that is maybe tangible, in somewhere that suits you better, somewhere that you feel more at home, but also, you know, metaphorically, you know, when we have embraced who we are, we naturally feel more beautiful because we feel more aligned. Oh, I love this. This is like you, Leo, going, yes, woohoo. You know, it's beautiful, liberated, free. Oh, I love it so much. Let's see what these messages are. Make real progress by pushing aside perfection and never looking back. Yes, do you know, that's this devil and this learn from past mistakes. If we're too proud, and even the Emperor, pride, you know, if we're too proud or too scared to look at these situations from our past, to look at these potential mistakes that we made, or extract the wisdom behind the experiences, you know, we don't make progress. And sometimes perfection, you know, can hold us back. So we're not perfect. The world isn't perfect. And if we're waiting for a perfect moment to move through this, it'll never come. It'll never come. Let all distractions float by. Concentrate on the things you really want. And I love this tied in with that initial image card that you had. I love that so much. And it's true. Just don't be distracted. And I don't see a lot of distraction here, because you're working on you, Leo. Reach, stretch, breathe, believe. What can you let go of to feel maximum joy? And you know, Leo, I really feel that that's this connection. When you're connecting, when you're grounding into Gaia and you're connecting to Spirit, there's going to be this joy that makes you reach, I think, levels that you never really could have quite imagined, or that you wouldn't have aspired to. That's magical. Beautiful reading, Leo. I'm going to leave the messages there. Take very, very good care of yourselves. Have a wonderful January, and I'll see you next time. Love and light, my friends. Bye-bye.